it left a lot to be desired. But moving, if this were my favorite group, it would be actually pretty close, honestly. Just throw in a Hard Legion and somehow come like raise them from the ashes in their 0-2 loss yesterday, and throw them in this group, and you would have a pretty banger group. But as it turns out, I mean, we have Forza, who, I've liked what I've seen from them before, but they've kind of been up and down lately. OG, who I've actually been pretty high on, but have not quite caught everything of. And Copenhagen Flames, a team that had some promise at Flashpoint, but have lost now two of their best players, which is a really big shame because they actually looked like they were pretty solid in that in their circuit of
Well,
play,
listen,
so.
I don't know if you watched the video they put out, which was absolutely straight fire, which just outlined how every single time they've lost a player, HLTV and Reddit comments is going like, oh no, they were such a promising roster, they'll die now. And then immediately afterwards, they get some other like banging new player who's just an absolute stud, and they still manage to cruise through and do decently well. So that was a good video. That was a good piece of content. If you guys haven't seen it, it's twitter.com/Copenhagen Flames, if I don't remember correctly. It should be somewhere in the top 20 or so tweets. It's really funny. I would highly recommend you watch it out. It's a bit like the old Superstitum videos. It reminded me of those quite a bit. Now, with that being said, the matchup for today is going to be starting things off with Copenhagen Flames and Forza Maui. Forza, a team that is very much continuing their descent downwards, unfortunately, despite having some fantastic names and despite having last weekend's MVP, even though they didn't even make the finals. Copenhagen Flames, on the other side, they've got a lot to prove with new player addition.
Yeah, I would probably have to chalk this up to Forza being a little bit favored in this matchup, but it's gonna be interesting to see how Copenhagen Flames have bounced back, because for anyone who hasn't seen the video yet, we will be heading to Nuke, and Copenhagen Flames have always been a team that have kind of liked Nuke. It's been like one of their first two maps in a lot of it's been like either their pick or it's like been their they try to make it a decider map for them. They tend to like to play it. I'm not sure how that's changed in the last month or two when they've been kind of cycling in and out a couple players, but it's a map that at least the core few of these people are should at least be fairly familiar with. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, at the same time, let's take a look at the lineups, because obviously some people might not be aware of the new Copenhagen Flames lineup. They have added Hectos. Wait.
I think this
Farlig.
is it's not Farlig. It will be
yes.
It was
Hectos.
just changed to Hectos, who they acquired from
yes.
Weigers. I don't know that team, but
Weigers. We casted them once in the Home Sweet Home Cup.
Really?
I think we did. Right, you know what?
I'm not sure. That does not sound familiar to me.
I'm 90% sure we've casted them. I think it was, oh no, we didn't cast them. We just saw them on Saw's record list, and we were wondering what the Weaver's name is.
I'd be a little cautious with saying that word.
Yeah,
it's a little too close to some other things that I'm not going to pronounce.
We're not going there. Okay, yeah. Remember, Weigers was the one with Barbar and Mac Daddy that we talked about.
Yeah. Okay, I know Barbar. Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, though, regardless, the point still is that we have to wait to see whether or not they can deliver. And I think for Copenhagen Flames, one big thing is whether or not we can maybe potentially finally see Refresh become who he was lauded to be all that time while he was in the Franksters lineup. He never really translated. He never really came through. He's actually one of the few people who didn't. If you look at that Franksters lineup, I think that's Stown, Borup, Refresh, Dragonfly, and one more person who I can't remember who it was.
But I couldn't list it off the top of my head right now.
I casted them quite a bit. So Refresh was one of the big shining lights. Unfortunately, he never materialized in the same way. So whether or not he can come into this game and do so, whether or not he can come into this lineup and become the star that they need him to be, that's something that would be very important, especially for a team like Copenhagen Flames, because realistically, if you have a player like Refresh who is kind of spoiled goods in the sense that you don't expect him to really become good anymore if you're a higher up Danish team. You really need to see a lot from him. So you might be able to get out 6 months before he gets poached away. which is obviously nice.
Yeah, that always seems to be the fate of players on Copenhagen Flames. Just it's almost like a farm team for some of the higher level Danish teams.
Yeah.
But well, I think I'd like to switch it over to the Forza side here. That is who Copenhagen Flames are going up against, and Forza in other home sweet home events, they've done. I feel like there's been kind of mixed results. Last week they did pretty well getting to the semifinals and losing to Heroic in the playoffs. So they actually were pretty close to the money there, but they just couldn't get over the Danish hump.
Well, listen, last week, Flit was insane.
Yeah,
Flit
last week was. Are you go on?
Okay, last weekend I saw Flit perform, and his performance was stupidly good, Mao. And I know you're looking at that game against Heroic. I'm gonna tell you to go to the map of Inferno and look at his statistics there, Mao. Tell the viewers what the stats are, Mao. Tell them right now, because that'll set things up for the most amazing overtime performance against Heroic.
They didn't play Inferno against Saw.
No. It was wait. Was it against Saw? It might have been. Yes, it was against Saw. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Almost.
The one against
Saw is almost Heroic.
The one against Saw on Inferno involved Flit having 43 kills and 24 deaths.
And now listen, I'll tell you guys something even more interesting. At the end of regulation, Flit had 18 kills.
Oh wow, that's insane. Actually,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See, so that's the player you're looking at. And that's the reason why we had a collective vote within the casters. And a lot of us thought that Flit was the MVP of last weekend, even though they didn't even make the finals. They lost to Heroic, but Flit was just delivering. It was like a DHL commercial all over the place, because that man would just never stop showing up and giving people the package. Now, the question is, can he do that again? And will he still fall to a Danish team early on? It's a best of one. It's entirely possible. It's Nuke. Like you mentioned before, it's a map where both these teams are actually quite comfortable on. What do you think?
I think some of it will have to come down to the side. And I think that we will... I think we're going to be actually going to the knife round right now. So we'll be seeing who will actually get to choose their side. But for the Copenhagen Flames lineup, I'm a little bit worried that they might cut out to a kind of a slow start, given that they just added a new player. So the T side is always a little bit, when you are trying to incorporate someone here, it'd be nice if they are able to take the knife round here, but it doesn't look like that'll be the case. So Forza will likely start on the CT side.
This could be dangerous. Let's see whether or not they can get that pistol round out from Forza. Let's see whether or not they can actually start off the CT side the way they'd like to, because this is where, again, you look back at Nuke's tendency to be one of those maps which would be radically changed by MR12. Because recently we've been having this conversation, and I know Maui shares my views on this, which is that, hey, the games are going too long, let's just reduce the round count, let's make it MR12. And MR12 is something that's so incredibly difficult to quantify the effect it might have on the scene, because MR12 makes maps like Vertigo, maps like Nuke, which are traditionally incredibly one-sided maps, where a single side like the CT side for Nuke and typically the T side for Vertigo, although really who even knows at this point, those sides get such an absolute advantage in their style that now the pistol round matters too much, because if the T side wins their pistol round, they've got 2 rounds there and then, maybe even 3. And when you only have 6 rounds and a half, that's really, really big, and it means you only have to have 1 gun. My bad. I could not get the mic mute in time to stop myself from sneezing on air. But anyhow, as I was saying, so the question then becomes, do you want your terrorist side on a map like Nuke to be able to get to the perfect round score by essentially just winning one gun round? And I don't really know where I stand with that. And there's obviously fixes for that could come through, but do we want to see that is always the question. I don't really think the answer is yes. So we'll have to find some sort of alternate solution. Now, though, Copenhagen Flames pull themselves out with couple P250s, if I'm not wrong. Yes, indeed. 2 P250s, a flashbang, the smoke, and a Molotov. It should be outside control coming in with those 2 P250s, but let's see what exactly is going to be on the cards for them. Hector's, the newcomer to the scene, the newcomer to the Copenhagen Flames, is going to be scoping around, making sure we can find anything possible while Queenix takes the duel into ramp. The P250 has been revealed. Copenhagen Flames, well, they don't realize it, but XC Power has aggressed forward. He's getting ready to wrap around into the lobby. Jerry jiggling it out as well to see where he can find someone. Jerry's one of those fragging in-game leaders that you can't take anything away from, but long-range deals with the P2K aren't always all too good. He will be seeing them crossing across very soon. And he finds himself one kill. XC Power as well, adding one more to the tally. Face crack in the meanwhile, waiting for them to push down. Flit is also expecting the terrorists to come his way, but he'll have to be postured over from Glass. Hector's and Queenix both coming in with one apiece. Now it's a 3v3, and Flit has come through to try and save the day, and he will be able to do just that. 2 kills have been found. Queenix is alone. Queenix will die alone. 3 kills for Flit to end the day. 1-0. Forza starting things off nicely. And Flit, you've got to give mad props to him for being able to get in position to the double doors immediately rather than trying to stick around inside the glass area, inside observation room. Instead, he's able to cause a lot more chaos from that angle. Now, though, full eco coming up from Copenhagen Flames. This should be a freebie for XC Power and company. XC Power, of course, the man on your screen right now, will be able to get a quick few shots with the scout. Will finish off the second as well. And now it's all Queenix and Naudios who will be falling very soon. Naudios, there you see it. He's gone. Unfortunate, but it is the case.
So nice start for Forza there, and actually keeping all their players alive in the previous round will help them out tremendously. Copenhagen Flames, not really investing too heavily, though, in the previous round. We'll be able to afford a pretty comfortable buy. The only person without a smoke is Hoochie, actually, and we'll see if that even comes into play here, or if Copenhagen Flames will be running a strat that doesn't really actually need smoke at all. Maybe he'll just play an entry role.
XC Power. Oh, no, he missed that shot. That is critical, but he re-peeks out, and Queenix has been taken down as a result of that face crack. And XC Power, keep an eye on them while the flashbang will make Hector's turn away. Naudios fall to Flit. I'm not entirely sure where Flit is, to be honest. I'm trying to find... Oh, he's towards ramp. Okay, fair enough. XC Power, he should be able to get quite a few kills over here because they're trying to go for outside control without too many smokes to help them out, Maui. But hey, refresh, we'll find another kill as well. XC is down and out. It's a 4v2 now. Hector's and refresh. Can they bring anything together? Because these MP9s are right in front of them, ripe for the picking, and they will pick them apart. 2v2 with Hector's very low.
Yeah, an interesting swing from the players on Forza there. They thought they could play their numbers, but 2 MP9s at that distance will generally lose to the AKs of Copenhagen Flames. Now, Almazer looks like he'll be up to the challenge, or he will at least be tested as he plays this position here in the rafters. Hectos is moving out right now. Will he clear out the locations? Will Almazer turn in time? They're walking onto his bomb site, and he's looking the wrong way. Hectos is able to find that kill. 3K on the round already for him. Flit, he will have to find a 3K himself if he wants to take this one back for Forza.
Ooh, Flit just couldn't deliver right there. It seemed like he should have had it, but refresh takes it away. And 2-1. Forza still, you know, some money, but the problem is that XC Power went for the AWP early on because he understood that Copenhagen Flames would have the full rifles, and as a result of that, now he's had to have it dropped, and now you can literally see they're all completely broke. They have to sell their teeth at this point.
Yeah, at this point, both teams though are not looking too healthy on the money side. In fact, I would give this a slight edge to the CT side in terms of their purchase because they do have that op and play on Power, and he has been such a consistently deadly force on the CT side of Nuke. Every game I've watched him play, I feel like he's always coming out with a bare minimum double digits in kills, and usually sometimes even lighting it up to the point of 17, 18 kills. So we'll see if he's able to keep that op and play. He was taken out in an interesting fashion last round where he just went across Big Garage. But that was actually a pretty impressive 2v4 from Copenhagen Flames. So I'll give him a little bit of credit there. And we'll see if they're able to kind of win in a more standard fashion this time around. It's a 5v5 situation this time. And they actually have more utility than the previous round. But they have used quite a few of their smokes. A lot of flashes, but it's always a little bit more difficult on Nuke to incorporate the flashbangs as opposed to, you know, a smoke or a Molotov. Just have to get people out of so many different positions.
Flit. Oh, man, he's so good. But Power comes in from the side, steals some of the limelight away from him. Flit is very happy for that kind of robbery to be happening, though, because it just means a higher chance of them winning. Smoke to go out. That's an interesting one. I think that was a missed one. That should have been smoking off main. And Face Crack re-peeks out. Hectos to take him down. Power in the meanwhile finds another while Almazer is fighting a losing battle. Only to have it won by Flit, who came in from behind. That smoke is not supposed to be landing there, right?
I think that was Hectos, and I looked it up before this one. He has some pretty good stats recently, but he's been pretty historically poor on Nuke. It's not one of his better maps by any means. So I feel like he's showing a little bit of his discomfort, despite the hot start with 5 kills right here. It doesn't. I don't know if he actually knows nades yet. If you're unaware or unfamiliar with the Copenhagen Flames lineup, Hectos is a very recent addition. In fact, it's so recent that it wasn't on our pregame graphic. They really just slotted him in here, and I don't know how much practice they have with him. I would assume a day, 2 days. You know, it's been very light for sure. So we'll see if they have any kind of a general strategy to make this a little easier, and a funny door close there for Face Crack.
I'm sorry, that's just so ridiculously unnecessary. Like, I'm sure it's very useful, don't get me wrong, but Face Crack is waiting for Nodios. Will he drop down to the same? No, it doesn't look like it. Almazer instead, with some great sprays, finds himself 3 kills. Copenhagen Flames really look a little bit outmatched. I would be lying if I said that they don't get a single kill. Even if they do just have pistols, you would expect a little bit of damage being dealt to the CT side economy, and I feel like they were expecting that as well. Couldn't get the bomb plant, couldn't get any kills. Very literally a throwaway round.
Yeah, and we'll see if they're able to do better this time around. Hectos does have full utility. I want to hope that he's able to use it a little better than that mini smoke we saw a couple rounds prior. All things considered, I'm actually not 100% sure that was him. I'm like 80% sure though, so we'll see. Ooh, a challenge on top of Hut. You don't see that every day. Nodios though, he was really okay with entertaining that fight right there, and neither player actually inflicting any damage upon each other. Exit Power strafing out pretty wide outside, but actually most of these players are about to approach him here. I don't know if he'll be smoked off. I think this is probably a smoke at one point going to Big Garage. Ooh, I think there's a missed smoke there again. Jerry, though, will be right here on the side of red, and I think we'll see T-Time's favorite play, the flash forward, and he'll be caught out.
None of them got flashed. That's so surprising.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know how it didn't go deep enough.
Well, Face Crack, he's waiting around the corner with the MP9 and only gets 1. Unfortunate it is, but Flit is very fortunate because he has been blessed with the divinity of his aim. Queenix, though, left in a 2v2. One of those doors has been blown right off, so Nodios will have to try and fight this one out. He secures them the A-bomb site. And now Queenix's rotation comes through. Where is Power playing from? No. Power, no. Oh, what?
Oh, that looked very close.
Yeah.
The second shot was nearly on him. Nice attempt from XE but I think at this point he probably has to opt for the save. Unless he is absolutely gifted a kill as he comes up secret right here, I just don't see him actually running into the bomb site or getting even close to it. Probably will just stick around secret, all things considered. But Copenhagen Flames able to get a nice round there. Good entries from them as they head towards lower. They had a free kill towards outside, and then were able to get down towards that B bomb site. But they actually made a nice reroute. Nice adjustment from them in the mid round as Nodios found that 1-for-0 kill at the upper A site. A little bit kind of all over the place for Copenhagen Flames, I gotta say. It seems like if it weren't for Nodius finding that kill, just solo lurking out the door, I feel like Forze coulda, shoulda had that one. But, you know,
Maui,
good for Copenhagen Flames. Yeah.
Is it possible to deny the bomb plant anywhere on the A side? Or is there like a... like from lower, or is there like a spot where you can plant where lower can't wallbang you?
I haven't tested every floor like space.
Okay.
I know you can shoot through it, so that's not pointless.
Oh,
that's a great push from Flit, and it's supported from XE. Both of these players starting off very nicely, and they will now secure lobby for their team. This is going to force the hand of Copenhagen Flames towards outside. Jerry just with the wide swing, though, takes down Refresh. I'm surprised there's no trade frag right there, or at least a swing. Looked like Hectos just didn't want anything to do with that duel, but you know, those are the duels in a 2v5 that you just kind of have to hope for. So he backs off, trying to group up with his teammate. I think they are going for a little bit of a mini wrap right here, but I think the timing might not work out in their favor as XE is already here and waiting. Poochie outside, pushing on forward. He's already tagged down to 53. He's yet to find a kill in this game. He'll find his first, but is quickly taken down.
5 for 2. Forza. They look good, Maui. They look good. And I have to say, that was a very strange setup in lobby where literally no one's watching for the ramp push.
Yeah, that is a weird gamble on their default. I wouldn't even... Like, a gamble usually means there's something that you're trying to get, though. And so I don't actually know what Copenhagen Flames were hoping for. But Flit, he's going to be hoping for a lot of kills right here. Good Molotov at the feet of these players, but they put it out with the smoke, and he's only able to find 2. Almazer, though, here in the J-Hall, is able to find 1, make it 2, looking for the 3rd. The taps are coming out. He pulls out the USP, knowing that Refresh likely doesn't have any kind of armor, but he doesn't swing with it. He was feeling himself a little bit, but he doesn't want to overcommit to this one, and he will escape to safety. That's a very disciplined play if you're Almazer here. You know this is likely just going to be kind of an eco frag of sorts. If you find a headshot, he's instantly going to die, but he just wants to keep his life intact, and I have to give him some credit for that. Face crack, though, will be able to finish the job, taking down Refresh, and only Flit to fall in a 5-man ramp rush from Copenhagen Flames.
I mean, I guess it's one better than their last eco where they didn't get any kills. You know, I'm an optimist, Maui. See?
I think they had an upgraded pistol or two, though, this time, so...
And they had a smoke, too, so...
Yeah, so they had a little bit more, a few more resources to try to find that one.
Well, seems like it's going to be a fast play from Hector, trying to get a pick with the AWP, getting aggressive. It is the first time we've seen him on it. Of course, he is Farley's replacement, so no surprises there, but Refresh has been surprised to find XE on the other side of that scope, who will take him down. Queenix, meanwhile, looking to push in onto Flit. Flit's actually got a bit of damage on as well. A Molotov to go out. Will XE have it smoked off? No, he won't, so he can just post up with the op, take the angle, to wait for them to come around the corner, if they are going to do so. And Copenhagen Flames, honestly, they look like they've been completely found out, because Jerry, he's moved in from behind. He should be able to completely finish him off at this position. Nodios will be the first casualty. Flit peeks out afterwards to get 2, and the 3rd will fall to Almazer, as Flit will have his life traded away. That's kind of sloppy. Like, the playbook from Copenhagen Flames looks very shallow right now, and I get that Hector's is new, but they don't really seem like they know entirely what to do on this terrorist side, especially when they're trying to hit towards ramp, where, you know, they're not aware of Jerry, who could have circled in from outside. They're not aware of the fact that there's likely to be 2 or 3 people there if you've given no info on outside, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, you definitely would hope more from Copenhagen Flames with the nuke performances that they've had prior to today, but Refresh wants to keep it going. I gotta give credit to Forze just kind of always keeping up the aggression, but Copenhagen Flames will do that this time around. Nice deagle shots from them already. At the AC unit is Exipower. Hoochie challenging him, but it's Refresh from behind who's actually able to take down Flit. And now it's a 2v4 situation. Maybe deagles have been the answer for this Copenhagen Flames side. A good smoke towards door, but they will be heading towards lower to avoid face crack. Exipower, he might find a timing to catch one here. He does. That is a very important kill because face crack has already made it towards lower, and these are just deagles against him. Trying to run away is Hectos now, and it's a 2v2 at this point. Copenhagen Flames having a difficult time converting this one despite the early man advantage. Refresh, though, is right behind the silo here, and he should be able to catch out Exipower. So now it's just down to face crack. 1v2 situation. He catches out Refresh, and I think he heard Queenix. Queenix already made a little bit of noise at lobby, and face crack is able to clean it up. A 2v4 at least for Forza right there. And Copenhagen Flames at this point, you might be a little bit mentally checked out. That was definitely your round. That was the time you're supposed to get into this game, and not being able to convert it is very disappointing with how just they used to be a very solid, very passable nuke team.
Yes.
And this time around, it feels like they're going into this with it almost feels like a brand new team. Well, I know it's only one replaced player, but this feels like it's not looking. It's looking like it's a lot worse than that this time around.
Well, listen, Maui, I don't know if you noticed that, but Exipower made a super next level play which made them win. He moved far enough with the AWP on Heaven that he knew he was going to die, but he also knew he'd drop the AWP when he dies. So Refresh gets the AWP, he scopes up with the AWP, and Exipower knows Refresh is never hitting that shot. So he just wins Flit that 1v2. Not Flit, sorry. Face crack that 1v2 because of it. See? That's teamwork right there.
Yeah, I mean, Refresh was already pretty hot with the deagle in that round. Who knows if he just kept that out if if they would have had it.
Exipower with the next level plays. No thine enemy.
Yeah.
Looks like a standard A side hit coming out from Hut to be in the card for Copenhagen Flames. Face crack is blinded up, but they're not using that actually. Almazar is the one to find the first. Face crack's been left to do whatever he wants essentially. He's going to be able to completely use his bomb site to his advantage. Now he should be taken down by Hectos at the end. It's still a 2v2, but it's a bit of a comical one at that. Naughtios now in a position where he can't do much as Exipower scopes into him. 9 for 2. Really weird way to go onto this side. I will not lie. I feel really bad like criticizing Copenhagen Flames, but yeah.
I feel like they just haven't gone over their routing. This is just like the other 4 players knew how to throw an exec on A, but then because they lost their normal 5th player, they just kind of, I mean, I don't know. They had to change it up because I think usually on that one, Farlig would have been one of the players throwing the nades, and then another player would have been on the entry route. But Hectos is just not as familiar with the routes. He's still having a decent performance individually, but you can tell in the scheme of the team that this is not really working out for Copenhagen Flames. That they thought they could just put Nuke together on the fly with a new player, but it's just not. The results are not there.
Well, it is unfortunate, but hey. They are not out of it yet. They still have a bye. They still have themselves a weak bye, but it's a bye nonetheless. Naughtios, in the meanwhile. Are they going for outside control without the outside smokes? This could
feel like they will right-click one of them at least. Surely will. Surely they will right-click it at some point because Exipower has been here very frequently, unless they're just gambling that he was making one of his ramp plays again. But that is a huge gamble, and man, these players are just so choked up right now for Copenhagen Flames. They might actually find a timing, but they back off the angle and right into Exipower's crosshair. So lot of damage being inflicted early on here to Copenhagen Flames. On this 9-2 scoreline, you would really love to see them come up with something, but that just doesn't look like that's the case. Jerry picking them apart, finding another kill on the round after XPower's opening frag, and Nodios just lies in wait, hoping for something, but he actually is able to find the kill. That's an interesting frag to get here when Almazur seemed like he was in a great position to stop that kind of angle. But XPower, he's been a stud all half. He continues with a couple frags more of his own, and I think he wants to even press on forward, and he will find the 4K on the round. XPower, I was talking about how I'm used to seeing him at least have double digits and sometimes reach the 17 scoreline. I think that was even the number I said, but he does it in 12 rounds, so he's got 3 more to work with here and might find a 20 bomb in the first half.
No, on the CT side, XPower is always very nuts. It's always the D side where you have to put an asterisk next to his name at times. But listen, at the end of the day, Copenhagen Flames, a bit of a confusing round coming out from them. Again, Jerry will have to try and bring them all down. They're going for the straight squeaky push, squeaky rush, face crack. Will be able to find them all, though. It seems like Nodios, again, is the only person to find anything from that hut. And Maui... This is the equivalent of Rush B in Dust 2. Let's not beat around the bush. Going through Squeaky is very much almost the exact same thing as, hey, guys, let's Rush B on Dust 2.
Yeah, it's just when you're kind of all out of ideas here. We'll be seeing a technical pause come out here. See what this issue is. It seems like Almazur needs to restart his game. He was the player killed in the previous round, and when you're the only person to die, sometimes you feel kind of bad about it. So
you fake a technical pause?
Yeah, so like, shoot, my game. God.
No, lag.
God, Copenhagen Flames killed me. There's no way. It's
CSGO! CSGO, why you gotta be like this?
I gotta blame my computer.
No, but, he's been having a good game so far. 11 for 8. Quite a really, really good scoreline, considering that Almaza is never really someone in hot positions or anything of the sort. But I am just imagining him just sitting in his team house where all of his team can see him saying, we can see you just type disconnect in your console and then reconnect, right?
No, God, you guys don't understand. My frame rate, it was only 130 during that fight. It was screen tearing on my 144 hertz monitor.
240, man, 240. Forza's got to go.
Oh, God, I was getting 225 frames. The screen tearing was massive.
Do you have a 240 hertz monitor?
Yeah, I do. And I don't always get 240 frames, though.
Okay.
But it does feel great when I do.
Okay.
Dude, this game is too hard sometimes on it. Queenix, though, does find an opening pick on a Flit, who was getting very aggressive there at radio. I think he actually pushed his own smoke. That's usually what I do if I'm the Ram player and I'm just completely desperate. It's not usually what I do when I'm Flit and just feeling myself, but maybe I should add it to the playbook. XPower will feel himself a little bit more. Good flash actually will support himself as he presses on forward.
Are you kidding me?
Refresh off right there. That's a great little push from him. And just 3 players remain on the side of Copenhagen Flames. Make it 2 with Almazur picking up ramp. Looking for more. He's not able to convert. 3-3-2. Forza advantage.
Well, Copenhagen Flames, they should be used to the Forza advantage part at this point. Have they found a way to be able to adjust to it, though, is the question. Smoke goes out towards Squeaky. It's XPower who's already there. Takes down Hoochie. Queenix will be able to survive for a little while longer as he smokes off the double doors and is waiting for a peek to come in from the AWP. Fortunately for Queenix, he's actually got a very good read over here as he circled around these players. He could even go towards the A side at this point. Gets one, almost the second, will spray through, and the third barely evades him. Queenix got so close to be able to finish that off, but Jerry just comes out on top and saved the AWP as well. That was very, very good attempt from him. I loved the read. I loved the play coming in, but unfortunately, at the end of the day, not quite able to finish things off. And you can see that again. It was all about that second bullet that he missed. If he got that one, that's an easy round for them. He even had the priority right, Maui, because you could see he was trying. He realizes XPower's missed a shot. Then he goes for Jerry instead because Jerry is the immediate threat. He probably thought he's killed him, to be honest. Like, that's just the muscle memory that's kicking in where you planned it out in your head. But yeah.
I feel like if he had a creek, he would have. I think that was actually right on. It just was the distance inaccuracy. But nice crossfire between FaceCrack and Flit. Flit does get taken down, but FaceCrack finds 3 off of that. That is so ridiculous that he gets 3 from that angle once they discovered. I mean, I can understand the first kill, the second even to an extent, but Hecto's losing that duel is a little bit unfortunate. FaceCrack looking for more of those, just strafes out perfectly, catches off Hoochie. Give him an ace. Give this man an ace. All right, he's already here. He's already close. All you need to do is Nodios just go through control and challenge him, because I think he's kind of pushed towards secret, but we'll see if FaceCrack is able to find this kill. I think FaceCrack is looking the other way, though, unfortunately. So Nodios, though, with a chance on this 1v3, and it would be desperately needed for his team to have any shot moving forward. He will be moving around vent now. I think Jerry might find the timing. Oh, wow, that's a little bit lucky. I think Jerry might have spotted him, actually. I think Jerry... What? Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Nodios able to take out Jerry right there. Molly's off secret at this point. Will be able to get a bomb plant, and he will actually be able to choose a variety of positions at this point. Ooh, surprisingly doesn't close the door, though, so that might give Forze a little bit of an opening here, quite literally, to find him. And interestingly enough, he moves up the ramp and now is playing along the rafters. This is a really strong off angle, but it's also very easy to trade him in this position. FaceCrack is taken down, but Nodios will find the 4th kill in the round and will get Copenhagen Flames their 3rd. A nice round from him, give his team a little bit of momentum moving into the second half. I think at this point, if you're Copenhagen Flames, you just want things to be a little bit respectable in this game. You know, maybe get it to 9. You know, that would be a nice amount of rounds, given how difficult this first half was. But Exit Power on top with 20 kills, 20 and 6 too. Not only the most kills, but the best kill death ratio as well.
I have to say, though, it was very nice of FaceCrack to give Nodios some time to get both of those 1v1s. You know, waited for his teammate to die, then he peeks out. Very comfortable, very calm, very collected. He's a sportsman. Now, he's a sportsman. He's the kind of guy, if you get in a fight with him, you know he's not going for any dirty shots.
Just give the fair duel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read Terry Pratchett, but it's called the Makwi the Fantai style of boxing.
Not quite familiar.
Okay, I'll give you. I'll shoot over a book sometimes. But hey, FaceCrack takes down Queenix. Smoke comes out for Mini. Almaz is trying to take some long range duels, but refreshes the cowboy, and he is, well, killed by his own teammate. To be perfectly. Jerry will be the next to fall. Nodios, in the meanwhile, is trying to make up for his sins, but Almaza will take him down at the end of the day. XD Power will be your judgment, as it is a slow judgment, but a painful one nonetheless. Comes through, and it's Almaza to finish them both off. 13-3. Nodios reminding us what the Wild West was really, really like, where you can't even trust your own partner.
Exit Power kind of continuing the trend of not being the most stellar T-side player in finding nothing there, despite actually being so close to those mini guys. It was actually Almazer from the back lines at side that actually find that kill. I didn't realize that at first either until I looked at Exit Power's kills, actually. I thought on the kill feed, I just assumed. You know, I was like, yeah, sure, Exit Power got that one, right? But nope, as a matter of fact, it is Almazer to find the 3K on that. It looks like it's going to be an A play coming out. This might have gotten a little bit sloppy with the routing, but doesn't seem to matter too much, as Flit is able to find a kill right there on top of the hut. Hecto's pushing out of the smoke, though, is able to find one of his own, and it just leaves Nodios. He had a great round to close out the previous half, but he will need another one if he wants to make this happen, and it just might with that shot right there. Almazer is only on 17 HP. Nodios, he's tagged down to 4. Both these players in the red right now. It's just a matter of who finds the next bullet. Almazer, he hasn't actually collected the bomb just yet. He's expecting Nodios probably to peek him, but Nodios actually just went down lower. He made a little bit of an audio cue as well, but I don't think Almazer heard it. He still expects the heaven peek at this point. And I think maybe Nodios, having made that big rotation, might outbrain Almazer, but Almazer is opting to go to heaven. It's almost like Nodios is just as unfortunate as he can get here, unless Almazer comes down ramp. I do feel like that was a possibility going through his head, but it is actually just coming out of heaven. He needs to make sure that he drops onto the little yellow ramp beneath him at this point. Yeah, the slide.
Whee!
Okay, drops his pistol on the ground. Nodio's... Neither of these players hearing the audio cues from the other until now, where Nodios will know that he did make a mistake in his choice, and Almazur will try to find a better spot to play this 1v1 from.
I thought Nodius was about to be really next level, go to the vent, come out from the vent, and then take him down like that, but turns out that wasn't the case. Now, really, ye old faithful. Unfortunately, Almazur's going to be able to finish him off regardless, and there you go. 14-3, Forze, after a bit of a long-winded duel, do come out on top, and Copenhagen Flames don't quite have the money to contest the next one. So Maui was saying that your goal has to be having a respectful finish. I think their goal is probably right now just to have this to be a painless finish.
Yeah, at this point, you got to be looking forward to the loser's game. Oh, unscoping his Hectos right there. That is a little odd. And also, Exi Power,
What?
Pulling out his knife, not expecting another repeak coming out from Hoochie, and Hoochie will be very happy about that. Nodios, he had a great round with the Deagle in the last, but that is a very long-range shot. Can't fault him for missing that one. That is very tough. And it'll be up to these two MP9s and the Deagle to try to extend the life of Copenhagen Flames in this game here. Queenix is making a nice little home by the vent where it might be nice and breezy, but unless his bullets breeze really just kind of find the essence of breezy from Evil Geniuses, I don't know if he's going to be able to convert this round.
I like how you got confused with,
oh wait, do I convert this round?
Which angle do I take? Audios, though, he's going to be able to maybe even line them up. Unfortunately, it's only the one kill. He's been very strong with the Deagle, I have to say. But it's Queenix who is now descended into lower, along with Refresh. This could be a mistake. It wouldn't be the first time it has been a misread coming out from these players. As now Refresh is looking to come back. He's heard the audio cues of them going over towards the A side. Copenhagen Flames, are they saving? I don't mind it when you look at their money, but
in face of the scoreline, there's
in the grand scheme of things, yeah.
There's literally no... I don't know... If I ever see a tier 1 team doing this, I just think that they're just playing for HLTV rating. And when you're down, okay, when you're in like a 14-9, I think or a 14-8, I feel like I always see the pro teams go for it because they do believe, they do think they have a chance. But sometimes when it's this lopsided, they're just like, you know what, just save it, just preserve your HLTV rating. You know, don't get that extra death on your kill death. You know, it's okay. Like we won't fault you for it. Like it's not right. It's definitely not the right play, but it's like the one that keeps your morale.
See, Maui, this is where Maui, you haven't got the real read on things yet, Maui. Let me tell you how it goes. They're thinking, man, Charlotte is still probably looking for another few Danish players. Let's keep our rating high for that.
That is the bigger angle here, probably. Yeah.
Jerry and XC Power moving forward. XC looking to get that first duel. He will not be able to do so. Instead is banged down just a little bit to 47. It's Face Crack, however, to continue in. He's actually a very good T-side entry fragger. I think he might be one of the best in the tier 2 scene for Nuke. But for now, he's actually going to be able to move forward, play it on easy mode a little bit, as Hectos does tag him down through the wall. Face Crack and Flit inching in, moving through. What can they ever do? As they are trying to get something or the other out of this, but Face Crack, oh, Almazur taking down Hectos. That's a big kill to find. They do still have a chance of, I guess, wrapping around, getting a nice lobby pinch, but with Face Crack being up in rafters, even that's gone. Yeah, I think this could be it, Maui. This could be it. Refresh. 1v5, refresh, none v5. There you go, Maui.
Yeah, not quite working out for Copenhagen Flames right there. Looking a little bit flat on Nuke. A bit of a shame, but Forza will be happy about that as they are able to move on here, and we'll see who is able to join them. I guess. Any last thoughts though about that game, Tea Time?
Um, there were a lot of very easy to fix mistakes. And that sounds like I'm criticizing them, but I'm really not. I liked Hector's. Hector's was able to get, showcase some decent firepower. It's very obvious that Copenhagen Flames still have some talent. Naudios had a few good moments. He was very good with a deagle. Queenix had a few very close rounds as well. There was some misfortune coming into that game, and I would be lying if I said that wasn't the case. And no, I don't mean the League of Legends character, but there is also the angle to keep in mind that they probably haven't been able to practice very much, and that's very clear right now. The only thing that I'm worried about is if your routines are thrown so far off just by not having one player, and this is more of a meta point that I'd like to make, Maui, which is that if all of your routines can be upset and disrupted by not having one player, that probably means your coaching staff and your in-game leader has focused too greatly on set strats and a little bit less so on allowing players to utilize their skill in slightly more loose rounds if it comes down to it. So even if they bring it back, if that's the case, you will always have a ceiling. You will always have a ceiling. And in my opinion, you'll never get into the top 30 like that. I might be wrong. I just think you do not belong in the top 30 unless you are a team that can also, play a little bit loose at times, even if it's loose off of the idea of a set strat later on. But that's just kind of what I get from this one game that we've seen of Copenhagen Flames that kind of worries me.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're able to build off of it. I just think that they were out of their comfort zone.
Yes.
Forza, on the other hand, have been a team that have been playing Nuke for quite a while now, so this should have been a clean affair, all things considered. They have I think this is Forza's second highest win rate for any map
They're
in the
very
past
good
few
on
months. Yeah, so this is kind of one of their home maps, and it's a little bit interesting from my perspective that Copenhagen Flames let it get to a map that was so much more teamwork oriented. In fact, the last two maps in the veto were trained in Nuke. And I feel like if you're Copenhagen Flames, those are like the last two maps you want to see if you're kind of a puggier team. So